Hello, my dear champions. I welcome you all to today's session. Today, we are going to talk about some amazing ideas to develop outstanding mental strength. And we all know that mental strength is such an important aspect of our life. Mental strength is the capacity of an individual to deal effectively with stressors, pressures, and challenges and perform to do the best of their ability, irrespective of the circumstances in which they find themselves. Building mental strength is fundamental to living our best life. Just as we go to the gym and lift weights in order to build our physical muscles, we must also develop our mental health through the use of mental tools and techniques. Optimal mental health helps us to live a life that we love, have meaningful social connections, and we have a positive self-esteem. It also aids in our ability to take risks, try new things, and cope with any difficult or crisis situation that life may throw at us. In order to be mentally healthy, we must build up our mental strength. And mental strength is something that is developed over time by each one of us, by individuals who choose to make personal development a priority. Much like seeing physical gains from working out and eating healthier, we must develop healthy mental habits. Like practicing gratitude if we want to experience mental health gains. So likewise, to see physical gains, we must also give up unhealthy habits such as eating junk food, and for mental gains, give up unhealthy habits such as feeling sorry for oneself. So we are all able to become mentally stronger. The key is to keep practicing and exercising our mental muscles, and just as we would if we were trying to build physical strength, right? So with this, let's take a quick look at 5 ways to develop outstanding mental strength. And here comes a little story for each one of you. A tired bird landed on a branch. The bird rested, enjoying the view from the branch and the protection it offered from dangerous animals. Just as the bird became used to the branch and the support and safety it offered, a strong wind started blowing, and the tree swayed with such intensity that it seemed the branch would snap in half. But the bird was not worried, for it knew 2 important truths. The first truth, even without the branch, it was able to fly, and thus remain safe through the power of its own 2 wings. And the second truth is, it also knew that there are many other branches upon which it can temporarily rest. So she was able to have this kind of mental strength because she had 4 C's with her. Now, what are these 4 C's? Let's have a quick look at these 4 C's. The first C is control. Now, this is the extent to which we feel that we are in control of our life, including our emotions and sense of life purpose. The control component can be considered as our self-esteem. In our own skin, have a good sense of who we are, and we're also able to control our emotions and less likely to reveal our emotional state to others and be less distracted by the emotion of others. Now, to be on the low on the control scale means that we might feel like events happen to us, why me all the time, and there's always a rain over my head, there's a thunderstorm on my head, and that we have no control or influence over what happens in our life. So it's important to have that control feeling, and that's what the bird had. Now, the second C is commitment, and this is the extent of our personal focus and reliability. To be high on the commitment scale is to be able to effectively set goals and consistently achieve them without getting distracted. Now, a high commitment level indicates that we are good at establishing routines and habits that cultivate success. And to be low on the commitment scale indicates that we may find it difficult to set and prioritize goals or adapt routines or habits indicative of success. We might also be easily distracted by other people or competing priorities if we are low in the commitment level. So commitment has to be high, which is all about, in spite of the distractions, we are able to follow a routine and just putting our full might into it. That was the second C, commitment. The third C is challenge. And this is what is the extent to which we are driven and adaptable. To be high on the challenge scale means that we are driven to achieve our personal best, and we see challenges, change, and adversity as opportunities rather than threats. And we are likely to be flexible and agile in those situations. But to be low on the challenge scale means that we might see change as a threat and avoid novel or challenging situations out of fear or failure. So it's important to be adaptable, to be agile, and to look at these changes and these adversities as opportunities, and let's take the challenge head on. So that's the third one. The fourth one is confidence. Now, this C of confidence is the extent to which we believe in our own ability to be productive and capable and successful. It is our self-belief and the belief that we can influence others. To be high on the confidence scale is to believe that we'll successfully complete tasks and to take setbacks in stride while maintaining routine and even strengthening our resolve. But to be low on the confidence scale means that we are easily unsettled by setbacks. We get into that zone where we are not settled and where we carry a baggage of the failures, and we do not believe that we are capable or have any influence over others. So building up on the confidence is equally important. So please remember 4 C's. The first one is control. The second is commitment. Challenge is the third one, followed by confidence as the fourth one. So these are the 4 C's that the bird had. And therefore, even in cases of adversity, it was able to have that mental strength that it was able to portray and be successful and happy. Sounds good? Right. So that was the first one, champion. The second idea that I have for you is very, very simple. Now, for example, when you're driving while talking on the phone, our brain can either use its resources to drive or to talk on the phone, but never both. And the brain scans also show that when we talk on the phone, there is limited activation of your visual brain, suggesting that we are driving without really watching. Now, this explains how we can sometimes end up at places without knowing exactly how we got there, because we were busy talking or busy thinking about something else. Now, frequently switching between tasks overloads the brain and makes you less efficient. It's a formula for failure, in which our thoughts remain on the surface level and errors occur more frequently. So therefore, our second idea is focus on one thing at a time. Take one track at a time and focus entirely on it. So focus on one thing at a time. Multitasking is worn as a badge of honor. True, but multitasking too much is not healthy. Practice being present. When you are taking a walk, taking your surroundings, the weather, the birds, feel the presence of everything. When you're spending time with friends, really listen to what is being said and do not think about what's going on in office. Turn off your phone and try to forget the running to-do list in your head when you are involved in something else. So give your 100% focus to what you are doing at a given moment. Sounds fair? Great. Now, that was the second idea. Also, I'm going to share with you a doctor's monologue here. All right. Now, the doctor is thinking and talking to himself. He says, I come home on a Tuesday night. I've seen patients all day and gone shopping afterwards. So I'm tired, but not tired enough to account for the way I feel. Disoriented, headache, and ill at ease. Maybe I'm coming down with cold or something, but no, the symptoms aren't really of that sort. So I collapse into the chair and think, let me get a handle on this. I have a vague sense of deja vu. Why? And then it hits me. I've done no yoga for 4 days. And that's about my limit. After that, something begins to happen in my body that's uncontrollable, considering the kind of hectic schedule I have, the irregular patterns of eating I have. It takes a toll. And an undercurrent of tension, a sense of being thwarted, stuck. It's hard to articulate, but I know what I need to do. So with no further hesitation, I put a blanket on the carpet and lie supine, my arms together on the floor above my head, and relaxing into this position for a couple of minutes. I sit up slowly into the posterior stretch, reaching out for my toes. It doesn't feel good. The tightness in the backs of my leg is at the edge of pain as I lean forward. I'm caught between my pride, which says I should be able to stretch further, and my legs, which are saying, enough, please leave it, it's okay, don't do it today. But I breathe consciously, and on each exhalation, asking the tension in my hamstrings to release. Bit by bit, I ease down into the posture. This is followed by a cobra, a plow, a head to knee, and a lot more. 20 minutes of this, and I'm a changed person. I feel high, I feel serene, almost euphoric, and aware that being in my body is now deliciously enjoyable. I'm baffled. Why do I put out doing something that is so wonderfully pleasurable? And we all might have that kind of question, champions. That when we take part into something which involves our body, and we have to stretch ourselves and we have to go beyond our regular comfort postures, we feel delighted, right? We feel that yes, our body is thanking us in many, many ways. But why is it that we don't do it regularly? So the answer must be that we are avoiding the initial discomfort and the necessity of facing a backlog of tension and neglect. The more regularly we exercise, the less of an obstacle there is to overcome. How many of you agree with that? Give me a thumbs up. Great. So what happens is we all know about it, but every so often it slips down our list of priorities and it disappears, and we find ourselves in the uncomfortable situation that was just described by this doctor who had a busy schedule all through and who has a busy schedule all through his different days. So the third idea that I want to bring to you is set aside time to move your body. So how do we motivate ourselves to exercise if we know the benefits of it, but we don't want to go into that initial part of it? So here is what works for me, people who have a routine of following these exercises in their life. And it might just help you as well, right? So the first is maximize the feel good quality of your exercise. So it's appealing. So second, cultivate a sense of curiosity about your body and its movement. Develop a habit of approaching them in the spirit of adventure and discovery. See what more can I do? What else can I do? How much more can I stretch? Right? So to make it possible, it will help to understand more about your body moves, what impact that movement has on your emotions and mind. And once that is clear, you will be able to design an exercise regime suited to your unique needs, one that you will look forward to and enjoy. So it's not just yoga, but any kind of physical activity that you can involve into. Because physical and mental health go hand in hand and should not be considered separate or in silos, as poor mental health can lead to poor physical health and vice versa. And that's absolutely proven by different studies and different methods that have been put forward. And mental wellness is a process. And just like physical health, it's an ongoing process to maintain mental and emotional wellness. Like medicine in the treatment of mental illness, exercise can increase levels of serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine in the brain, and it improves and normalizes neurotransmitter levels, which ultimately helps us feel mentally healthy. And other important benefits of these exercises are enhanced mood and energy, reduced stress, deeper relaxation, improved mental clarity. We get a lot of clarity instead of that junk and that chaos inside. Learning improves, the learning ability improves, insight improves. We have better clarity about vision. Memory improves, and the cognitive functioning also develops tremendously. And all in all, it helps in improving social health and relationship, higher self-esteem, and increased spiritual connection as well. So focusing on our body and giving it that exercise, that giving it that move, giving it that groove is important so that we can move forward physically healthy and mentally healthy as well. If that sounds good, give me a thumbs up. Great. That's the third idea. Let's talk about the fourth idea. Imagine what would happen if you never turned off your laptop. How slow it would be, how quickly it would freeze up. You will have difficulty in working on different pages open, different applications open, right? The same concept applies to our brain. We simply can't be on all the time, thinking, worrying, planning, and stressing ourselves out. So it's important that we restart ourselves, right? And where can we practice a daily mindfulness break? And where can we practice mindfulness? Anywhere. It can be a time in the day when you are simply shut everything out and just breathe, close your eyes and breathe. And it can be moments before an important interview when you close your eyes and try to calm yourself, whether at home or at work. There's always time for a little introspection, a little talking to yourself, a little talking to no one, and just listening and calming yourself down. And regardless of the method you try, mindful meditation is something that can help if you're feeling a bit scattered. And some people even use it to try and get to sleep, because getting a good amount and good quality of sleep is also important for our mental strength. So that's the fourth idea for you, champions. Give yourself a daily mindfulness break. Set aside 1 to 2 minutes each day to decompress, check in with your body, and assess how you're feeling. Because there are a number of great apps that can also help you incorporate a structured mindfulness practice, or you can just simply develop a practice that works for you. Just 1 week of brief daily mindfulness And this practice has been found to produce significant improvements in attention, energy, and stress. Research also shows that these benefits are more than just subjective, that participants of a study experienced actual decreases in stress controlled cortisol and improvement in their immune system. So it's not just that you're feeling that way, but there are physiological changes in the body, which are positive physiological changes. And they're also, these exercises, they also displayed improved visuospatial processing, working memory, executive functioning, important sets of mental skill that help you get things done faster. And we are living in a fast world. We need to be equipped with those kind of resources within us and around us, which can help us adapt to situations and adapt to those requirements and expectations that people have from us or the work has from us, which makes us feel more powerful, empowered, and looking forward to life, right? So give me a thumbs up if you are ready to give that mindfulness break to yourself. Now, let me now take you to a conversation, an incident that happened between a father and a son. So they are taking a walk and they come around, this big rock which is lying on the ground. And the son says that, I think I can move this rock if I use my entire strength. So the father says, yes, you can move it if you use your entire strength. So the boy puts his entire force and he's putting in a lot of efforts, but the rock is not moving. It's a big rock. Now the son looks at the father and says, I've used my entire strength, but I'm still not able to do that. Why did you say that I will be able to move this rock if I use my entire strength? So the father says, probably because you have not still used your entire strength. He said, no, Dad, I have used my entire power. I'm just putting all my weight, all my effort into this rock, but it's not budging at all. The father says, have you asked for my help? The father extends his help and then they push it together and they are absolutely happily able to move the rock. And that's when the son is smiling, the father says, when I said that you will be able to move this rock if you use your entire strength, I also meant that your strength is not just your strength, but when I give my strength to you, it becomes your strength. So your full strength is your strength coupled with the strength of those who can support you. And this is called the strength of togetherness. And that brings us to our fifth idea, which might seem like of no use in mental health, but indeed it is. It is so important and critical. The fifth idea that I bring to you, champions, is when in doubt, shout. And shout for help. Seeking help is often the first step towards getting and staying well, but can be hard to know how to start or where to turn to. It's common to feel unsure and to wonder whether you should try to handle things on your own because people might see this incident or this approach of yours for seeking for help as an incompetence in you. But it is important to seek help when you are in doubt and when you feel your own current resources are not enough for you to take you forward. To put it simply, there's never a wrong time to seek help. Talking with someone about your thoughts and feelings can always help you gain insight that will likely to be beneficial in your life. Because when we keep thinking about our own problems, we are going round and round in a vicious circle with no outer influence, with no outer perspective or no second perspectives about it. So it's important to talk to people. It's important to seek their perspective. It's important to seek their advices. What you do is eventually your decision, but at least you are getting aware of different perspectives. You're not leaving any stone unturned about a view or an opinion. And if you find yourself experiencing periods of stress or feeling angry, irritable, sad, or easily frustrated, it could be a good invitation to seek out professional help to deal with those feelings. And those professional helps could be either from your colleagues, your family, or somebody who's authorized and certified to help you with the same. So it's important to take care of our mental health. And what is important is to make sure that when we are unsure, we are in doubt, we are not confident and sure how to move forward in that, don't move forward, shout for help. Make sense? Great. Now with this, let's do a quick summary of 5 ways to develop outstanding mental strength. The first that we discussed were 4 C's. Now these 4 C's were control, commitment, and what was the third one? Challenge and confidence. Wonderful. So 4 C's are there, and we learned all these 4 C's with the help of a story of a bird who was not afraid of the wind making it fall on the ground. It wasn't afraid. And so we shouldn't be either. Now, the second idea was focus on one thing at a time. Multitasking, good. Too much of multitasking is tiring. So focus on one thing at a time for your better mental health. The third idea is set aside time to move your body. Yoga, exercise, Zumba, do something, running, jogging, do something. But make sure that you are involving your body to make your mind energized again. Also, give yourself a daily mindfulness break. It's important to take a breather, to take that stop, right? And the fifth one is when in doubt, shout. It is important to seek support when you don't feel sure all about yourself. Mental fitness doesn't have to take up a lot of your time. Spending a few minutes on it every day can help us feel better, think more clearly. Always remember that relaxation is just as important in a mental workout as the most energetic activities, such as memory exercises or physical exercises. And with this, champions, very, very well done. Congratulations, you're all set to win by learning these ideas. And you're free to go on more such learning joyrides with us. You're most welcome to join us. My name is Yasha Watts from Star Consulting Global, and I'll be happy to connect with you over LinkedIn. And with this, champions, I wish you all the very best for taking care of your mental health, building that mental strength, so that in happy times you are happy, and in difficult times you have the vision and the strength to pass that, to go through that, and to grow through that difficult time to become the champion that you are. Never ever be ready to fail, because you are born to win and you will always win with your mental strength. So wishing you all the very best with that, champions. Thank you. Namaste.